Hi there, this is Greg Hessel from ReGeneration Resources, and today I want to talk to you about 8 value clashes that I've come to believe are at the heart of most of the tension that sometimes exists between generations in the workplace. But before going into the actual value clashes, I want to say a couple things. First of all, I want to say that values are neutral. No value of one generation is better than the value of another, although some of us identify with some values more than others. The second thing I want to say is that while values are neutral, the cultures of organization reflect certain values. And in the organizations that I work with, typically the culture of the organization reflects the values of the older workers. So it's not a level playing field. So while I respect the values of younger generation workers as much as older, I would say the younger generation workers, if you want to be successful, you may have to stretch and adapt to the culture of the organization that you're working with. And conversely, for older workers, I would say, if you want to retain and recruit young talent, you also have to stretch and adapt to some of their values. So what are the 8 value tensions? Older workers tend to respect authority. When I was growing up, if my dad said, do it because I said so, we just did it. Younger workers have seen many people abuse authority. And so they're often going to challenge it. And they don't mean their challenges to be disrespectful, but just because somebody is in the position of authority does not mean that they can go unchallenged and we should just be completely deferential to them. Older workers respect experience. Younger workers tend to respect competence. They don't care that you've been there 30 years. They want to know, can you do your job and can you do it well? Older workers work hard. Younger workers tend to want to work smart, to ask, is there a better way? Asking, is there a better way, is not a reflection of being lazy, although it sometimes gets labeled that. Older workers tend to value stability. Younger workers tend to want to change things. Older workers value hierarchy. Younger workers tend to value flatter structures and consensus. Older workers are less comfortable expressing emotions, and younger workers are. Younger workers value mental health. Older workers tend to identify with our jobs, sometimes over-identify with our jobs. We want to live to work, and younger workers work to live and really want to have fun doing it. Older workers tend to be more loyal to employers. Younger workers are more loyal to their passions. So what is the key to working together more efficiently? So the first is just to realize that values are neutral, right? All of these are valid. And secondly, rather than over-identifying with it has to be this way, we have to work hard or we have to work smart. Decisions should be made in a hierarchical manner or they should be made in a flatter manner. The key is to realize and to think about, what does the situation call for? Sometimes the situation demands a fast decision that a hierarchy is going to be more adept to make. Sometimes the situation needs a lot of buy-in. In a flatter decision, a slower process that gains consensus and builds consensus is going to be more effective. So rather than being aligned with the values of a generation, if you want to work together more effectively, see if you can start thinking about, what does the situation call for? I hope this is useful. Good luck as you manage these differences. Thanks.